but we'll see. Okay, so it looks like I'm on YouTube now. Maybe you are old, but you can't see the Visual Studio that well. It is full screen. I could make the text bigger. But yes, maybe you're old. Maybe you are. Maybe we all are. Okay. So does the environment have an instance? It does. Okay. So here I can say environment.instance dot hide pause menu. Maybe. I mean, does that help? I made it a little bit bigger. 120%. So one thing needs... That is better, old man eyes. I think this is where I should put the pause menu script. And then here, I can add the event, drag that there, and pause menu events on resume. Okay, so now if I want to pause to get my cursor out of there. Oh. Should it listen for the escape key to be pressed? I clicked escape twice. Or hit the escape key twice. So I'm in it, I hit escape, I have my cursor back. I click resume, and I'm good to go. Right, everything works. I hit escape again. Okay, and if I hit escape now, escape, but just be careful. Well, WebGL is just for people to test it in. The final game is not going to be a WebGL game. In fact, it'll probably be a year between my final WebGL publish and the game actually being complete. Same here. Cool, cool. Screen position out of viewing frustum. Well, that's too bad. It's not 3D. That shouldn't be an error. Okay, so now that I have my mouse outside of that, I can scroll. Okay, so you guys need to get closer to this one zombie without, yeah, just point at it. Don't shoot. Okay, yeah, so his number's going. But when it comes time to actually shoot, oh, there's a thing. Resume. When I click to assign a destination, or left click for that matter, I need to cancel both events if the menu is showing. So if I go down here and get one of the zombies' attention here, there is a pause down here where between them actually shooting, like they'll shoot and then that number will stop for a second. So is it because they don't have a target? And that's fair. I think they're shooting good. They're just... I think now that they're shooting faster, maybe I give the zombies a little bit more health. Setzer, how you doing? Later on, you could try have some characters target strongest. Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, would the characters know what is the strongest? I mean, visually, the player should be able to see that one is more of a threat than another. My thought was just the closest. Because the closest is the one that comes in. And they're not going to stop shooting at it just because a stronger one comes into its range. Because that closest one would be the one more likely to hurt them. I'll give it some thought, but I don't think that's the way it's going to go. Okay, so prefabs. A zombie. It's got 2 health. Let's give him like 2.5. Or straight up, let's give him 3 health. Yes, in StarCraft it is the nearest. Or you, like I can do here is I can right click on one to target a specific one. Oh, he's still alive. I do want a little, not like a health bar, but I want something so that when I'm testing, I can see what their health currently is. Because even though he got hurt or hit, he should now be at full strength. I see that little circle under him. That was the blood. This is the survivor. And his health is, what, 11? And this guy's health is 11, so yeah. They have a health over time. Which every second he'll get 2 health points back. But they could all quickly be drained. Oh, okay. So this guy, now that I can escape out of here without closing that game, where's he at? Is this him? So the zombie has killed itself. Like, it's dead, and the zombie script is gone. Like when they go away, the zombie script destroys itself. So the glitch and the zombie just kind of like standing there and not interacting. Miguel says subsets. Oh, yeah. He changed his color, but he's still on YouTube. It should be priority based with a buffer distance. I do have a danger zone radius already where they're pointing, but they can't shoot yet. Where the closest thing in the radius gets shot first outside that radius is whatever's the strongest. That does make sense. Like the first thing into that center circle is priority, but outside that circle is the strongest. If you really wanted to go the distance, you could have an AI matrix where people can configure the AI to work how they want. No, that's way out of scope. So this thing failed to die, or at least like even lose its head. So I wonder what causes that. If health is less than or equal to 0, the only place that where do I destroy the I unregister the zombie. Where do I destroy the script? Secret of Mana 3 had that for the AI of your teammates. StarCraft might also have that, and I want to say Age of Empires also had like just little icons that were like, or maybe I'm thinking of like some kind of tower defense, but I've seen ones where you could tell it what to target. Age of Empires also had a formation button that you could change the formation that they were in. I don't think I'm going to go that advanced. Oh, okay. And then I got to go to the coroutine, duh. Current state action is dead. Start the coroutine. Dying animation. Here we go. So down here, when it's all said and done, it does that. So why would the animation frame ever resort back to the upright? If the current state was dead and it was playing through the animations. I also need a zombie dropping with its head, because not every zombie death is going to take its head off. So in update, can I just say here, like if state is dead, if current state equal, well, it was close to knowing what I wanted, and that's not it. That's I want, what's the other state variable? Was it current state? What is current state? That's the action. Current action state equals dead. Okay. Should I not hit the other state? This one? The enum? It's just state, which I do not set, so that could be a problem too. Can I just do that there? In dying, state equals zombie state dead. Oh, it's only dying, not dead. Should I add dying then? Or dead, I mean. And then in update, I can make sure that if it doesn't equal attacking, then it does some stuff. That's just flipping the thing. There's an attack delay. Current state action. So, okay. So if state is zombie state dead, then we just return. So maybe that would just stop them from ever doing that. I assume it's like some sort of race condition where they're gonna attack, and during the attack they die. Go up here and rescue Setzer, and we'll get 2 zombies. Setzer! Oh, no, you see, he did it. He did have the blood animation, and his head appeared. But his frame stayed still for some reason. You were trying to create a modding behavior using the new keyword. This is not allowed. Really? Oh. Yeah, I know I changed my code. Did that stop it from working? Surely not, right? Because it limit 0. How are you doing? Do you have a release date for your game yet? Yeah, they're shooting slow. So there is something else. I thought I had this all figured out last week. 27th in 5 days. That's exciting. Make Setzer throw grenades. So, Setzer, my one thought is that not everybody has to have a handgun, or in a level where someone has a machine gun. Like, not everybody has to have machine guns. So it could be like, whoever ends up in this spot gets the machine gun, this person gets a handgun, this person gets grenades. It's not depending on your survivors list. It's not always going to be the same person, but one person might be a grenader or a rocket launcher person. I want to visually represent that somehow. And I don't know if it's going to be like holding grenades in their hand. Go here. Okay. And that's if they're like a grenade person, do they just have like a grenade sprite in front of them? There should be some kind of like gradient, or not gradient, but like texture thing here. Like that. Just so you know that they're gonna throw a grenade. Rocket launcher dudes could have like a whole full-on rocket launcher over their shoulder. But I think it has to aim as well, so it wouldn't be like permanent right there. Let's get some silver. Oops. Or should it be green as well? Or something like that. Maybe double black on the business end. But yeah, that was an idea. I mean, I do have like those levels where I want that to be a thing, but it's not that like one person that you rescue is a grenade person, because there could be a single character level where you might not want that. That too, yeah. Put an icon by their name. I did want to have like a circle by their name to show like a status, so that could work too. Okay, so the zombie still did its thing, and the survivors aren't shooting at the gun's shooting speed when their character is still alive. So, in gun.shoot, if gun.shoot current target, if current target does not equal null and the target health is greater than or is equal to 0, current target equals null. No. Right? Here I'm going to say, what was the false conditions? That's just if you couldn't shoot, right? If the distance was too great or the shot timer was too great, then it would return false. Otherwise, it returned true. Re-aim timer is that, and re-aim timer doesn't prevent us from shooting, correct? Maybe. Let's see. Limit Zero says he's been in a weird funk going from spending so much time, oh man, working on the game to being done and waiting for release. You need to start on the next one. Yeah. With Android, you don't really have to wait like for a release date. Like when it's up and ready, then it's available as well. It does have to be approved. But you don't get like, now it's going to be released on this day, like it's approved and you can release it like immediately. But that funk of having finished a game that you've been working on for so long and then like not having to work on it. Yeah. Okay, so they were basically shooting and then re-aiming for the, there we go. But that's what I want right there. If the zombie is dead, then if current state doesn't equal null, okay. I don't know if I need that, but let's do this. If current target dot I got to change my logic because the target isn't a zombie. A target is a targetable. So that can target multiple things, not just zombies. So what I want to do I want to cast it? And if I can cast it, does that mean I get the zombie? Right, so if I do like if zombie, can I do, or do I have to do and what if that fails? Will it not shoot? Like that. Then if ooh, do I have to, should I do another logic just for the zombie then? Or sorry guys. If the current health is less than or equal to 0, then we do that. Right? Because then that's when it's dying. That makes sense. You can release now, but read that you shouldn't release during a sale. Like in the middle of it, okay? It probably wouldn't matter much with your game, but you figured you'd give it a little bit of a better shot. Yeah, absolutely. Like, don't sabotage your own game. Okay, so go in here, pow, 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 re-aim, pow, pow, pow. There we go. So I'm gonna let one just like swing. Okay, see how I let that one swing and now it's... It died in its... Oh, there's another one up there. I didn't catch it, but... I think what's going on is that they are dying during their attacking animation. And so when we get out of the attack animation, maybe attack delay equal 3, zombie state equal idle. So this is if it's possible to be killed during our attack animation. Should we die now. So if health is less than or equal to 0, oh, I'm going to say this if it's greater than 0 here, then we do that. Else, then state equals zombie state dot dying, and current state action equals state dying, right? And that'll trigger the animation. Trigger the death animation. Here's a problem too. When they get hit, depending on the type of damage, like a regular gunshot isn't going to make their heads pop off, but an explosion will. So if they're attacking, so maybe it's okay that their heads don't fall off when they die when they're attacking. Maybe. Otherwise, I'll add like a boolean or something that'll dictate which dying animation we go into here. That might be all that needs to be done to fix that. Let's see. One thing that I am concerned, let's get in there. It's not going to happen now, is it? Yeah. One thing I did notice, am I zoomed in or something? Maybe that's it. I don't see the name tags. Oh, they're there. It was just because they were dead. But yes, like a little circle with their weapon on it, or like a icon of their weapon on their name tag would be good. Trying to do it on purpose and it doesn't do it, so maybe it's fixed. Abandoned survivors and options. So I think the options will also go in there too. And that would just be sound music. Okay, so let me get... Should I do 1 or 2 more playthroughs so I can see if I can force them to... Here, let's go rescue some peeps first. I'll just make it... Let's not make it hard on myself. Let's bring the... I had to rename the Scooby-Doo people because I didn't want to get sued. So I have... Daphne, Baggy, Valerie, and Eddie. Okay, so those guys can go there. Kind of all along the same lines of don't sabotage. Don't sabotage your game. Okay, so now I got these dudes. Let's get in here deep. Now turn around. I'm clicking out of my screen. So when a character dies, when it's selected, it apparently still has the selection around it. So let's fix that. This thing is called, I thought it did, but selected sprite. That's a sprite renderer. I should rename that. Selected sprite renderer. Okay. And then on our death, which is somewhere down here, do death animation. Selected sprite and here, do death animation. And that is false. Can I, there's an unselect, right? Select and then false. Shit. Are we good? We're not good. Is that a prefab? It is, okay. Let's go here. I renamed it, but Unity wasn't smart enough to come through for me, so that is what it is. There we go. Rescue these dudes. Oh, he got sent into the building. Ah! All right, I think it's almost safe to call that. See how they're in fours now, or in a square. There's more zombies somewhere, right? Yeah. Down here, I forgot that I limited the screen to just like to encapsulate the map only and never overlap. And I put some stuff down there thinking that was gonna be cool, and I was like, oh yeah, camera can't go down there. So instead of changing it, I just left it. I'll raise the zombies up. In fact, I'll do that now. They should probably go like north. That's a zombie. Where is it? Are you over here? I don't see that one. Oh, you're down here. Oh, it did that. Okay, so I just gotta do it like this. You're down here. All right, so can I just select all of this stuff? I don't want to select the map though. So let's do this. Am I allowed to say no clicky on that at all? There we go. So do you think if a survivor gets rescued by a currently selected survivor, should it automatically get selected? Let's go this way. I kind of feel like it should. But it has to be, it would have to only be, oh, they're kicking the head all the way up here. It would have to be only if that survivor, the rescuing survivor, was selected. Oh no. Because you could send somebody in one direction and then select somebody else. She didn't have a death animation, so she disappeared. Okay. I think I'm gonna do that. If the, and is it on trigger enter of the player? If it's a prisoner, we're gonna rescue it. Survivor type equals survivor standard, and then if select. How do I know if I'm selected? Is selected? Yeah. Is selected is true, fine. Then so S is, I'm going to rename this to rescuing survivor, rescuer. Right, that's the person doing the rescuing. So if rescue, if the rescuer dot is selected is true, then we're going to call our own select method true. So that should auto select the prisoners. I don't know what they call them. They're not really prisoners. They are survivors, but they're not controllable. Wait, did I just select them all by habit? I wasn't paying attention. It's like, you guys go in there. Yes, okay. And now, I could have hit R to reset. I forgot about that. Miguel asked for that, so I did that. So here, but that won't be in the main game. That will not be Okay, so I unselected him, and he did not auto-select, so that's good. Gotta remember to hide the gun when they go and loot. So I wonder, when we say which one is the strongest, Renegade Wizard, hello. This looks like it's going to be hella fun. Thank you. I really hope it is going to be hella fun. So when we say we wanted them to auto aim at the strongest zombie, is that the zombie that does the most damage? Or the zombie that has the most health points? Because if they're all on that rim where the units get to decide based on strength, they could shoot one zombie and it would no longer be the strongest as far as health points go. Yeah, I agree with your definition there. Strongest means more damage, toughest means takes more damage. Yep. Lots of zombies' heads. I think the circle at which the chain reactions happen is bigger than what I have set. Should this be able to... Oh, you know what that's going on? Does this think it's colliding with this because it's... Well, not now, but... Because it's the triggers that are colliding? What did I do? That's really weird that the arrow isn't following. It has a rigid body, so that might have something to do with it. Like if I shoot that one, I need a gun. You shoot that. Like it shouldn't have reached that. Oh, dude, I didn't want you to target it. That was a mistake. Yeah, okay. Didn't I set it so that if it was a collider, it's in decorations folder, isn't it? I don't have a decorations folder. On trigger enter, on trigger exit. If it's targetable, blah, blah, blah. This thing, if collision dot is trigger, then we don't add it. But clearly we are, right? So do I need, is both of them are triggers on the exploding barrel and the near barrel. I need a Google. In Unity. In Unity, how do I determine the collider type trigger or not of an object that entered my trigger collider? I don't normally get messages on, oh, someone else went live. That's what it is. It's his trigger. So that works for 3D, works for 2D. The object has multiple colliders. Unity will pass the specific collider that made contact. Or maybe I'm just doing something wrong. So I wonder if it has anything to do with the start position. So, like, this is definitely not within that circle. Okay. So when it moves, oh, I keep forgetting I have reset now. You're back. Game done yet? Yeah, you missed it. I published it and we flopped. And now we're on to post-mortem. Okay, let's make this go closer. That's good. That's absolutely close enough. Okay, so it was just me. All right, let me get my doc brought up so I can check some things off. What really sucks, and I was telling Miguel, like, he uses pen and paper, and I said I just use Google Docs because it's everywhere I need to be, or it's everywhere I am. So when I need it, it's right there. And then I thought of two things that I wanted to get done, like the next time I sat down and started coding, and I didn't add it to the list, and I forgot there. Sometimes when a zombie freezes, do something. Yep, I'm gonna call that fixed. And then there's a jitter when aiming at faraway zombies. We'll fix that later. I haven't figured out what the loot icon is going to be. I don't think it's going to be on screen the whole time. But if you do a successful loot, then it'll come down and you'll see the number change. So let's do at least that. Like when you do a successful loot, I'll bring that thing down. And for now, it'll just say loot. And it'll have the loot thing. Oh. My save games don't have the loot variable. I probably want to save that, huh? Underscore survivor, or do I want to just go to the save state? As in the base or mission briefing. Yeah, okay, so I need loot here. Public int loot count equals 0. Oh, that's a survivor profile. This is where I want to put that. Current level, that's the list of survivors, dead or alive. Right, okay. Is that the only place I want to save it? Or should the environment also have a loot count so that it knows? And you have to beat the level, right, to get the loot? Yeah. So I won't save the loot until you beat the level. Where do I want to put this? In the mission brief card, all survivors, selected survivors. I have my own delta time for some reason. Am I using it? No. That is not to say that another script is not reading delta time from here. So I'll leave it. So public, this one can be, yeah, this would be public just so I can see it in the inspector for now. Public int loot count. By default, it's 0. I kind of wish. I think I'm going to use this font. However, that would require me to do a bitmap font with the existing like TTF, or do you think I can get away with putting that in here? Do I have a fonts folder yet? Yeah, let's do that. I gotta find out what the font name is though. Does this tell me? That is a vector layer. Here, let's do... I don't know which one it is. It is that. So then I hit the text box button, I double click that, and I get this. So it's Rockwell extra bold. Can you copy font files now? This is weird because it's no longer like a file preview. It's got like the actual fonts, and then there's like 3 here. I think that means there's more than one. Let's go to my Unity project. What goes here if I paste? All the font files. Okay. So that means, oh, let's go here. As long as I can go big, or do I just use it as a placeholder? The font file. That's what I'll do. So that's going to be in the user interface. No, it's not that. That's like on the overlay. It's not this one because this one has, is it the mouse layer? Here, well, I'll just start and I'll pick a person. Oh, it is. This has the dog tag. So this is the user interface that has that. Okay. So I'm going to add an image. But real quick, hold on. Let's make that say root. I want to say like X. Like that. Oops, I have to close that window. Or should it be a different X? And can I do that? Can I do a different font on just the X? I can. Cool. Can I resize it? Wait, let's save it first. What does it look like over there? Nothing special. Yep. And then I'm gonna have to remember not to save this. Can I do like a Control-Shift copy? And then a new. That should be good for now. Create. Oh, wait. I should be able to paste this. That one says in-game menu, so not that one. Do I already have like a UI? I don't. So I'm gonna kind of make one. There's name boxes. Those should be moved over to the user interface, right? Right. Okay. New 512 is probably enough. Okay. T to move. I'm gonna go over here somewhere. So the reason why I did that kind of is I want to raise this up a little bit. Yeah, cool. And then this is going to be just a PNG in-game UI. So I have in-game menu, and then I have in-game UI. That auto cut. Oh, let's fix that. So this is 16. Open the sprite editor, yeah. Delete that and extend this. And then let's do point that, apply. Okay. Now in here, I want an image. And this is going to be loot. I'm just going to call it loot X, and then beside it I will have a bitmap font of the rest of the numbers so that I can display that there. Okay, I need to do that. I want to preserve the aspect, and it respects the size. That's pretty good. And then this is going to be anchored to the top. Zero is there. So does that matter all the time? So if the screen is, if it's crunched, okay, I don't see it like hanging out here, and that was my concern. Like if it put black bars. So here, 24.6, how about, what does 24 look like? Good. And then negative 24 is right where I want it. Ish. Is that translucent or is it gray? It is gray. Oops. Yeah, that was just moving it. Okay. So I need to remove the layer style for the drop shadow. That makes it look a heck of a lot worse. Okay, and then I'm gonna paste it here. Why is it so huge? Okay, that was weird. So T to move. Gonna put this right over top of that one. And then I'm gonna hide that one. And I'm just gonna steal what the layer was of this layer style. Go into the layer style, turn on the drop shadow if it's not too late. Cool. And copy the layer style, go back here and paste the layer style. Okay. And then I got to go in here though and get rid of the outline because I already have the outline. Or outer glow, sorry. So I have just the drop shadow that comes with that. And then I'm going to save that. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to not be gray. Negative 24. I'm zoomed in, that's why I can't go down. Okay. It's still, it is gray, isn't it? Is that my drop shadow? Is this a color instead of... It is. Okay. It can be black with a 50% transparency. Okay. Save that. I might have to go back and do the same to that. What am I missing? Did I change spread to 50%? Is that what I did? Oh. Can I just type 50? Okay. All right. So, okay, okay. That is not gray, that is translucent. Save it. And that's what I want right there. Though I can't see it. And I'll have to do the same thing to that, I think. Maybe. Or do I leave it gray because it's like 8-bit? Don't know. Also, so these doors... Oh, I have to go over here. I'm thinking they're not going to be visible at first. So it's like an open area that you can go into. And then when you're done, the door shuts and I disable the loot mechanic on that door so that you can't go in and over. And you visually can kind of see why, because the door's shut. Or something like that. Let's save that. Play. If I just disable the door, door generic, does that mean I can't loot it? Oh, I can. Okay. But the door never does come back. Okay. Because the door script is disabled. Which means I enable the door, but I disable the sprite. The door didn't come back. Well, that's also because Velma's going up in there. All right. Anyways, that's something I'll have to recode. Let's do the loot thing, though. So, do I want to have a static method? I don't want to do this. Yeah, so let's start with a script. And this is going to be called loot counter. I'm going to have to go back and see some of my other games. I wonder if this is already a game that has more scripts than I've ever had. So I do need an instance. Does it have to be public? It doesn't, does it? Because then, like here, I have a public static add loot int loot to add. Oh, I'm sorry. Void. Right, and then if this is attached to that little loot thing, the image, then it can do like the animation of it going down. So how about an internal vector2 resting position, and then in start resting position equals transform position. I'm sure I'm gonna have to do some kind of like rect transform blah 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 blah. And so I need a state or maybe a destination. So an internal vector2 transform destination and a internal float rest time. So if add loop, so I'll just say for now, transform destination. It's not static, therefore it won't work in there. So I have to start everything with instance dot transform destination equals resting internal, instance dot resting position. Yeah, and then I can just say transform. Oh, wait. Transform destination dot y equals instance dot transform. Can I say multiply equal? -1. That's it. And then here I can say if transform dot position doesn't equal transform destination. Is it because it's a vector 3? Well, then I'll just make that a vector 3. Then we do vector 3 dot move towards. We're going to start with transform position, not resting position. Transform destination. And then time dot delta time times. So that's a scale of, it's not 24, it's 48. So do I say 48? So it'll go 48 pixels. Is that what we're on? Also here I have to say reset time equals instance dot reset time equals 5f. Rest time. Then rest time minus equals time dot delta time. And if rest time is less than or equal to 0, then transform destination equals resting position. This needs to be, it needs to equal resting position. Instance dot resting position dot y times -1. Okay, so this little loot thing gets the loot counter. Position is going to be positive 24. Hey. And we'll loot. Well, might have to reset each time, but so go in here. Okay, so that was a successful loot, but the thing did not come down. It's still at 24. Of course it didn't come down. Let's go to the lootable. Am I giving those like an open sprite and a closed sprite? No, it's just a door. Loot counter dot add loot. 1. And that will only happen if it was a successful loot. Here, I need meat shields. Case that, yep. Run, run. Okay, try this one. That was a successful loot too. So that is a flaw in my logic somewhere. Move towards that. Subtract from that. So I think constantly checking to see if the rest time is less than 0 and setting the transform destination to the resting position, I think that's fine. It's only when we add to loot that the transform destination.y gets set to the resting position.y times -1, which should lower it down. And it sets the rest time to 5. And only after 5 seconds does it go back up. But it should be moving down at the speed of getting to its destination in 1 second. So if I do that, I can see the variables. That is a weird number to have? Oh. Because it was a live number. Okay, I want to click on that real quick, please. Okay, now get back in here. Oh, I should have scrolled down. Okay, there's a destination. Negative 680. Yeah, okay. So I have to do some rect transform thing that I'm not like super knowledgeable about. So how to move, let's start off with Unity. Unity, how to move image rect transform Y. Rec.anchor position. There's a rec.local position. Do you want to set the position relative to the parent's object center, regardless of anchors? I do not know. Okay. So this one, let's just throw this in here somewhere so I can look at it. I feel like my chair is down too far. Oh, that didn't help. There we go. Rect.anchored position. And this is a rect transform. And we can do a plus equals on a... No, we can't. Really? So this is going to equal... Oh, I need this. Right, and then the rect is going to equal this. Do I have to redo it every time? In case I do, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so here, resting position does equal, can I do this and start? What is anchored position? Vector 2 to Unity Engine Rect Transform. Well, it's okay because it's not. Anchored position is a vector too. Okay. Then I do need a current position, which will be this. See, I don't want to do that every single time, but I'm wondering, does it get updated? How'd I do that? So then I got to say here, so if rect dot anchored position is not equal to, it should be called rect destination then. This doesn't equal rect destination dot anchored position. Then we move yeah, also I didn't do the thing. Like rect dot anchored position equals this thing. I was just doing a calculation but not assigning it to anything. And then if I'm moving, it's not going to be rect destination. It's going to be rect destination dot anchored position. Cannot modify the return value of that because it's not a variable. And anchored position is a vector 2. I guess I just do like instance dot resting position dot x. Dot anchored position. has not been assigned. Okay. Can I say here that it can be a new rect transform? Oops. But then rect destination. That doesn't need to be a new. Neither does that. I just need to set it here. The default rect destination dot anchor position equals rect anchor position. So it has the resting position, which is the saved current position. It's rect and the destination. There's an error. Unassigned something something. Oh, if these are not new rect transforms, then they can't have an anchored position. Is that what I'm getting at? Or I'm gathering? So I was right. We got stuck, did. The variable rect destination of loop counter has not been assigned. When it has. Let's find some other music. It's a new rect transform and destination, or the rect destination anchored position is assigned. So just for the fun of it, debug, Devlog. I got a couple debugs somewhere else that I should probably remove. Rect destination dot anchored position. And then I can run this and then immediately pause it. Let's collapse those. The variable resting position of loot counter has not been assigned. Resting position of loot counter has not been assigned, but I did, right? Oh, wait. Yeah, right. It doesn't have to be resting position of loot counter has not been assigned. You probably need to assign the resting position variable of the loot counter script in the inspector. How do I assign a new rect transform without making it a clone, copy, or reference to a in-game rect transform? Create a brand new rect transform, not a reference. So you have to create a game object to get the rect. Okay. Let's not do that because I just kind of had the realization now that these can be vector 2s. They don't have to be rect transforms. Right? Because anchored position is a vector 2. So resting position can equal that. Oops, backspace. It took the Castlevania music to make me realize that. Just saying. Okay. And then here. So I have the rect. And I move it. But that's the only rect transform that I need. Come on, I just want a word to come down on the top of the screen. All right, I'm gonna hit R to reset. Yay, and then it should go back up. Can I see the timer? Oh wait, it's in the environment. User interface, loot X. It has stopped at 3.999918. Why? Does it mean I am at -24? That is the rect destination. If I make this resting position, no. If it's not equal to there, it is. So it hit that, and then it said it was done. So I need a else if the rect anchored position is not the same as the resting position. Then we do a timer to go back. Yeah. Okay, stop. Okay. Save this in case I haven't yet. The X needs to be risen up. I forgot to do that. There we go. And then you're going to go back up? You do. Okay, that's good. Because the loot doesn't do anything in the game, in-game. So we don't need to be staring at it. We just need to know when we get it. So if I just do this, I can raise that, right? Yeah, okay. Thanks. I do believe I am done for the night, though. I'm going to hopefully have some time tomorrow after work to do all the numeric digits on here, probably right here. Probably what I would do is just take like this and go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Also, I can just copy that straight up without having to, I got extra large again. That's why I'm not. I don't know why. Do this, and then so I guess I need to decide if I want the font to have that translucent drop shadow or if I want to make it a solid. Part of me says it should be solid. Oops. Not black though, right? How would that look? It's not too bad. Oh, I gotta save it. How much more time do you need? All right, let's go here. I think if they get hit, shoot the barrel, shoot the barrel. Someone shoot the barrel. Thank you. If they get hit, their max health should go down. Damn it. Just reset. Okay. Yeah, I don't think a solid black shadow looks bad. So then on this layer, yep. Layer styles, drop shadow. Just make it black. And then I can't copy the font over because it changes size. So I'll just copy the pixels and then paste them over here. What song is this from? Or what game is this song from? Oh, Kid Chameleon. I was never any good at that. You love that game on the Genesis? I might have to play it. The drop shadow looks a little weaker. See what I mean? It's not as far down. I do kind of want it to be as heavy, I think. Oh, well, crud. Sorry, wrong tab. Go over here. You recognized it instantly? I did not. So it's not really as heavy here either. So now that I have it though, how I want it, I can say loot and then X and then change this to a different size. Yeah, okay. So let's put this in the place of that. I think that was good. Okay, I'm gonna delete that layer. I'm gonna delete that layer. And then I'm gonna raise that X up. I have to select that layer to do it. The X is different. The whole switching abilities, right? So he could become like, is that like a samurai or whatever? I think that's all I remember of it. Switching abilities based on switching outfits. Yeah, a lot more interesting than becoming Fire Mario. Hey, we could become a lot of things. Yeah, so it was kind of like what was the other one with the kid? Little Emo for the NES, where you had like different suits that had different abilities. But that was kind of like you kind of hopped into the animal, right? So there was a frog, and the frog was like sleeping, and you could jump into the frog. Little Emo NES videos. Get a PlayStation for watching while watching a NES game. PlayStation commercial. Okay. So it's there, you give it candy, and it kind of falls asleep, and then you jump in it. And then you get the abilities. Based on a cartoon, I believe. I'm pretty sure the cartoon wouldn't be based on the game. Okay, so that is that. Do I have a go to my fonts folder, or do I have a bitmap fonts folder? I do. Okay. And then so this is let's click on the wrong folder. Okay. This is just a code. and scripts. Never mind. It's going to be fonts. Okay, yeah. So this. So I would just go straight to the numbers and only put the stuff in the numbers. Then I think there was a, is there a default height? Why is that not showing? Okay. Character, sprite, bitmap font 64. What is that? Oh, that's that. Okay. And this is a space. And Nightbot just spat out like 3 things at once. Oops, here. And then I got to go to my sprites. Is it going to be weird that I leave that in the in-game UI instead of in a fonts kind of texture, like bitmap font? No, it'll be fine. So let's edit that. That's kind of off, so I'm going to move this straight up to the top. Yeah. What's the height? It's 28. So then I'll just do like, I'll try and just eyeball the gaps. Oops, I was way off. There, and the 0. Apply. Okay, and then back to where the fonts folder, create a scriptable object. No, retro font, bitmap font. And this is going to be what did I say it was called? Rockwell. Object not set to an instance of an object right off the bat. So build lookup for each G and glyphs. If it contains a character, surely if I don't have a sprite in the list, it'll be okay, right? So like 0, I need to go to my sprites folder after locking that. That's a 0. This is a 1. Two. The boring part of coding, game development. It's almost like data entry. Okay, so those are just the numerical parts first. That's all I need, really. So there's another image, and it is going to be the message. But first I need to put in another child, right? Child image, so that when this one moves, that one moves, and this will be the actual loop count. And I can just go right over here. And at first it's a 0. Nope, I need to unlock that. Preserve aspect ratio, but it didn't preserve actual size. Set native size. Okay, did I do that here? So this should be anchored to the left. So as it grows, does it go that way? And then this is going to need an image, so I need to have a user interface. Using Unity engine dot user interface. Then here, I'm in the wrong thingamajig. I need to go over here. Wrong script. Here, then or should be at the top. Loot count image. I like that better. Convert words. I give it a string and it gives me a list of word. The word is just the spaces. I don't want that. Convert text is kind of what I want. So this needs to know the bitmap font. And then that comes down, and then I assign it. So bool is updated equals false. Okay, so then in here, you keep changing colors. That Sonic 3, it is. Yep. Else if. Not complaining that you keep changing colors. I just don't know if you're doing that intentionally or if it just randomly doing it. Is updated equals false. We do this and is updated equals false here. Here we set is updated equals true. And then we get the number of sprites. Yeah, man, I was just saying this the other day that playing a Sega game on non-Sega hardware just doesn't feel right. A list, but not that one, this one, of sprite. Sprites equals my bitmap font dot. Do I have an integer yet for the sprite count? That's kind of important. Int loot count equals 0. In start, I should probably do something to actually grab the actual loot count, but I don't know where I'm gonna put it yet. And then that has to be public or internal. I can't see it, but it is there. So instance dot loot count plus equals loot to add. I think it's just gonna be 1 each time. And his mobile ports of the original Sonic games are actually really good. Sonic Mania was a total breath of fresh air. Oh, wait, I missed a whole other. It took an indie dev to make an actual decent Sonic game. Did he get sued? Because we had that one dev in Miguel's Discord that was trying to make like the Sonic 3D game. But we're like, dude, why are you like using IP that's not yours? Not capital B, just font. Font dot convert text, which gives me a list, and that is going to be loot count dot toString. What do we do after that? I need my this one. Not that one. Mission. Is there a brief scene manager? That should probably go up here. Oh, I better not move the location of scripts outside of Unity. Christian Whitehead created a classic Sonic game engine from scratch. Sega contacted him to port their old Sega games to mobile. Oh, very interesting. Why can't all game companies be like that? For each word and word, display words. But these are not sprites, these are images. I could have a series of images up to like 3. Like duplicate that. And then duplicate another. And then hide the ones that we don't need. Because then every indie and their brothers would be pitching their own takes on class. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was almost rhetorical. Almost. Should I give a 4th one? This is going to be like, don't underestimate the player. There was an image in here. The loot counter images. You are now a list. You honestly don't think they'll give about considering how bad they butchered Flashback 2. What did I miss? Oh. You have every intention of contacting Microids after you finish your demo and seeing if you get permission to have flashback references, cameos in the game. Do you already have a contact information for them? See, those things I would think, like if I had that IP and I wasn't doing anything with it and a dev came up to me and asked for permissions, I would probably work something out, right? Like you're and not like cash up front for the IP or like the license to use it, but more like like a profit basis or something. That would be the way I would do it. Like, okay, you can. I don't know, maybe something up front would be needed though. Okay, so here, so it's going to come down. The number's going to change. So string. Oh. Okay, and then I'm gonna say for int I equals 0 while I is less than for I plus plus, and then if string loot count dot length is it less than? So length is, I'm on 0. If it's less than or equal to I, then what did I name my sprites? Just sprites, didn't I? Loot count images. Loot count images dot set. Oh, I need the index first. I dot, there we go. Enabled is false. Else, and this needs to go like this, and I'll do the same here just for readability. You don't go there. Update counter does. If they say no outright, I'll just keep going and just be really, really vague about the flashback tie-in. And players can make the connection themselves. Spiritual successor. Is that the best way to do it? Spiritual prequel. When I hit the bottom, that's when I wanted it to change. So, here, no. That's not what I wanted. Go over here. Add loot. I set the destination. We add 5 to the timer. We set the timer to 5 seconds. We add to the loot. Instance.loot counter plus equals that. And we determined it was a 1, which is good. And that's static. So let's make the loot count public. Was there a reason why I didn't? No. Let's make sure it changes. Is it because it is static? No. Oh, there's the number. Okay. So it did change. So when I get to here, I do update counter. So it comes down to 0. It reaches its destination. If anchored position doesn't equal the rect destination, which currently it does, right? So it goes on to else if is updated. So by default, this should be true. And when I do this, then I say is updated is false. So it gets here, does that, moves on to this one. And you don't have to change is updated. Okay. Loot count, there should be 1 to string. This gets a 1 character. Oh, we didn't get an error, right? Right. And then, oh. No, loot count images. So is it this? So if I'm on 0 and the length is 1, if this length is less than or equal to I, which is not, right? I is 0. Loot count images I dot enabled is true, yes, and then the sprite equals that sprite from up here. I don't know what it did there that needed saving, but maybe that was it. Nope, there's an error. Null reference exception. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. So that would make sense. I didn't apply the font. I'll lock that real quick. And my fonts and my Rockwell goes here. Good job, guys. Still got an error. Here? Loot count to string. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Loot. Oh. I assigned it and then it was in game. Now the odds are it's going to be the doorway over here somewhere. Don't get hurt. Oh, there we go. And it changed. I think it should be faster. Go in there. Yeah, okay. Now I am done. It is 12:30 night. All right, thanks for stopping by.